Morning everyone, we're back with another bike for the dyno for the tuning. We've got a CBR650F 2014 model. There she is. Client's already fitted the unrestricted velocity stacks. It is a Lamb's bike. So obviously we ran through that last time. That's learner's approved motorcycle. In other words, they're heavily restricted. So they restrict the airflow into the engine with the velocity stacks, and then the map doesn't suit the amount of airflow for the unrestricted stacks. So this bike has a XL exhaust system, a performance filter, and the velocity stacks are fitted. So we will be loading in the unrestricted base map, and then we'll be tuning it up for the modifications on the bike. Okay, so we've done our run on our CB650. Let's take a look at what we're in for here. Okay, so as you can see, it's running shockingly at the bottom. It just jerks and splutters, and that's because the fuel mixture is off the chart. You can see there it's running over 20.1 to 1. It does richen up on top, which allows it to rev nice and clean, but all the timing and everything is still restricted. So we should be able to get that a lot better, extend the rev range, and obviously just richen up the range here and get everything nice and smooth and opening nicely. So I'm going to get on with the base map, and then we will take another look at where we're at. But yeah, it is making relatively good power. So at 75, sorry. Okay. So 75.9 horsepower and 58.8 Newton meters. So like I said, the velocity stacks have already been done. Normally when we run these with the restricted velocity stacks, they are extremely rich with the restricted airflow, but they run quite smooth, you know, so that's more linear. Also, they only make 40 horsepower. So yeah, we will get all this sorted out and then just do another run and see where we're at. I'm going to basically just add up fueling and everything else because I know what to do there, and then we will see what's happening with the timing and the ignition, dwell and a few. Okay, so we're just busy with our first write here. As you can see, it's busy writing, and the time now is 11 o'clock in the morning, and you can already see the heat specs. It's 39.5 degrees and 90% humidity. So yeah, that's what we got to deal with here in Cairns. It is hot, man, I tell you. At least if for some reason you're a naughty boy and you end up going to hell, it's going to be like a holiday resort compared to this place, I'm telling you. Okay, so we've had to stop tuning because there's a problem with the bike, so it's all in pieces, as you can see, everything's stripped out. We picked up I picked up a lean misfire low down where the fueling was in the ballpark, but it started sparking off lean, and it felt like a bike started shuddering and stuff. So that is certainly an injector that's blocked up, but I thought let me just strip the bike down and take a look-see and see what else I can find. Opened up the air box and the air filter is old and clogged. Obviously the client thought it had been replaced with a performance K&N, and then after seeing that I decided to pull the spark plugs, which are in a bit of a state. As you can see, all the oil's pushing through the porcelain over there. You can see that they're definitely not in good condition. So we're going to replace the spark plugs and the air filter as well. So we'll order that in, and then we will have to reassemble and get back on it. I'm also going to pull the fuel pump out the fuel tank and backwash that and clean out everything, make sure we're good to go so we don't have to strip again. But this is also why it's best not to take things for granted. Like when you bring your bike for dyno, all these things cost money, and if they're not done, it also interrupts. So obviously we started doing our stage 1 data log, so we were busy collecting all the fueling data, and that's when I picked up the problem with the lean misfire. So basically this is another easy 2 or 3 hours to get all this cleaned up and sorted out, change the plugs. I got the injectors in the sonic cleaner. So yeah, we will have to sort all this out first and then get back on the tune. So I did feel it in the beginning that there was a bit of a miss, but the bike was extremely lean. So I just thought, oh well, maybe when I add the fuel it'll sort it out, but not the case. It's probably one injector that's just messing around. So I'll have to get all those cleaned and then test them, make sure they're all spraying correctly, and replace the plugs. Put everything back together. Might try and open up the air box a bit more. But yeah, as you can see, he has done the velocity stacks. Those are the unrestricted ones that are open. But yeah, the filter's shocking. I'll show you what. Okay, so this is the air filter. As you can see, it is faulty. So that's no good for tuning. It's all blocked up with oil, really bad. So the plugs, the filter, the injectors are in the sonic cleaner, and then we'll get back on it. Yeah. Okay, well the pump's not too bad. There's a bit of dirt there, but it's very black inside this housing. So I'm just going to backwash this pump, clean it out. So we've got the tank apart. I have looked in there, it's pretty clean. So the pump is, yeah, I didn't think it was the problem, but it is dirty, so we'll just clean it one time. Anyways, and then there's our new spark plugs, and we're waiting on our new Okay, so we were spot on the money with the pump is filthy. You can see what comes out here. Look at that. That is all the stuff that's sitting in this high pressure cartridge. So I just plugged it into the machine. It just started spewing that stuff out. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give this a good clean. That's really bad. Anyway, so yeah, that's why the fuel and the pumps are pretty dirty. It's recommended at least maybe once every 2 years or 3 years, or when you do a major service, just ask to get your pump overhauled as well, because that restricts performance big time. I mean, check out the stuff there, that's black coming out there, and that's all the silt from the pumps. You'll see all the pump fillers on the ground. So when they remove the manhole covers, all the dust and stuff blows in there, and that's too fine for the pump filters to catch, and that's the result. So this pump's also blocked up, so yeah, that's why the injectors are blocked. That's why we got this problem. So we'll sort this out, and then we should be... Okay, so we are busy installing our new K&N air filter. There's our old unit that was filthy dirty, and obviously we just got to put the sticker blue away, but I'm going to put that on so that everyone knows not to throw this bad boy away. Okay, obviously it's not optimum, but I thought maybe we can scratch a little bit more volume in the airbox, so I've removed this plate out here. You can see it basically had those two tiny little holes in there. So I've just taken off the plastic melt nuts there, and I have opened it up. So I mean, volume's volume, eh? Take what we can get. But yeah, obviously the intake's still a bit small. But there's not much we can do except for cutting this whole front out and making another ram air duct, because as you can see through there, if we have two ram air ducts going each side of the steering column, it would be better, but given my time frame to do the tune, I won't be doing that today. So yeah, we're installing our new filter. There she is. Let's just put it in here. So I just got to bolt that in, put the airbox on. The fuel pump, as you saw, was filthy dirty. We've overhauled that. And yeah, I think we're about ready. I put new spark plugs in the bike as well. Those ones were pretty bad condition. The electrodes were worn, and the oil, obviously all the combustion gases was pressing past the porcelain. So you can see the plugs weren't in the best condition. So let me get this together and we'll get back on the... Okay, also one more thing to note, we've installed our filter is secure, we've got our unrestricted velocity stacks, I've opened up underneath to remove that little piece of plastic, but also this pipe over here is for your pair valve, so that basically recirculates dirty air from the crankcase back into the airbox for emission control. So I normally blank that off because you can disable the FI code on the ECU, but it doesn't disable. So normally it would tell you whether it remains in the closed position or not. This one does not, so we had to put a blocking plug inside the pipe to be able to block that off. So yeah, that's just another thing that we did to get some cleaner air into the engine. Right, we're all done with our tune on the CBR650F 2014 model. She made some good gains. Let's take a look, see here. Okay, so she went from 75.9 to 77.9, that's horsepower, and then 58.8 newton meters to 61.4. But the major gains were at the bottom. I mean, that is huge. That's probably about 25 newton meter, maybe 30 newton meter, I'll check it out. and then we've gained huge horsepower at the bottom. It was very, very bad low down. There was a problem with the injectors. The fuel pump was blocked. So you can see we've had massive gains the whole way up the range. We've raised the rev limiter by 500 RPMs, and our air-fuel ratio is nice and smooth and consistent now. So you can see that straight, whereas before it was too lean there, and in some spots a little bit too rich, as you can see. So we've mapped that all out. I'm very happy with the way the bike's performing, and I'm pretty sure the client will be happy. Thank you so much for watching.